Hello everyone, it's Hoplite Mike. Today we are back with Chivalry Total War Remastered, which is the medieval mod for Total War Rome Remastered. The developer, who is also on YouTube, has recently released a series of new campaigns, being the High Era, Late Era and Crusades. Today we're going to be playing the Late Era campaign as the Teutonic Order. I've got campaign and battle difficulty set to hard, all modifiers set to remastered, and lastly unit size set to ultra. So the campaign is in beta, but as far as I'm aware it is good to go. So without further ado, let's jump into this one. Okay, so this is the starting position for the Teutonic Order. We have two settlements, Marienburg, which is our capital, and Riga in the north here. So one of the issues that we need to resolve is the fact that public order is very low. It's 0% currently in both settlements, and that is largely driven by the fact that both are 100% pagan, which is also the case for most settlements in these northern regions. That's why the Teutonic Order came up to these parts, was to spread Christianity. But from a gameplay perspective, it does make holding the settlements quite a challenge. So for example, Marienburg has minus 100% public order due to paganism, and then a further minus 80 due to unrest, which is because of the high population of 6,000. So I've done a few trial runs. I don't think it's possible to hold Marienburg unless I'm missing something, but I've tried lowering the taxes, tried building martial law, and also recruiting units out of the population. But even with all that combined, I still seem to lose it within 2 turns. So what I'm going to do is essentially let Marienburg go. I'm going to disband the units and bump up the taxes to very high just to get what we can from it. Riga is slightly different in that it does have the minus 100% due to paganism, but it doesn't have as high a population, so we don't have the big unrest penalty. So we can hold Riga. So what I'm going to do is lower the taxes, build martial law and execution places. In fact, I might save that for now. That does give you access to, it allows you to get a bit more cheap public order when you build the execution places. There is an argument to building the Christian shrine, but that only gives minus 5% paganism, and if you look at the settlement religion panel, the conversion strength to paganism is very strong at 20%, which is because of the neighbouring regions, and that's not something we can overcome by building the church. So I'm not going to build that. I'm not going to build the church just now because it wouldn't be worth it. In terms of our overall strategy, the way this mod works is that the rebel settlements need to have much bigger garrisons than the faction-owned settlements. So for example, Gdansk is a rebel settlement and it's got a near full stack. Whereas, we started with Marienburg and that only had 3 units, so I'm not going, like most of the settlements around here are rebel and pagan, which means they're very difficult to take because they have big garrisons, and then they're very difficult to hold because they're 100% pagan. So I don't think it's a good strategy to go for these rebel settlements. I think a better strategy is to head south and go for Poland. So what I'm going to do is, with Riga, I'm going to, I already have loaded the taxes, I built martial law, and then eventually we're going to build an army here, which will be able to go south. Something else to note with the Teutonic Order is that both settlements start with the Baltic Knight Order. I don't think you're actually supposed to be able to have that at this stage in the game, because if you look at the building tree, the Baltic Knight Order needs a large city, whereas neither of these are large cities. Marienburg is a minor city and Riga is a large town, but because we are playing as the Teutonic Order, I think the developer just put this in to give you a head start, because this is the building tree that gives you access to the Teutonic Knights. But the benefit of having these Baltic Knight orders is it gives us access to better troops than we otherwise would do at this stage in the game, so we want to take advantage of that. Last thing I also wanted to mention is the fact that not all settlements are able to recruit Teutonic Knights. I think the settlement needs the hidden resource Baltic Crusade, and for example, Marienburg does have it, because if you click on Marienburg, go to the building browser, and then click on Teutonic Knight Order, you'll find that you can recruit Teutonic Knights. Yep, but if you do the same thing in Riga, there's no Teutonic Knights, and that's just because it doesn't have the hidden resource. So we do want to retake Marienburg at some point, but I don't think it's possible to hold it right now, so I'm not going to do that anytime soon. So anyway, I think we've dealt with buildings, we've dealt with taxes and units, and I think we'll pass turn there. Okay, so in Riga, the public order is back to 70%, which means it's not going to riot next turn, and none of the buildings were damaged in the prior turn's riot, so that's good. We're still going to be making a bit more cash, we're going to be making 1500. In fact, if we start building an army now, I think that'll give us the most amount of funds to do so. So we can get 5 of these units and 3 of the archers. So basically what I was saying before was that because we have the Baltic Knight Order, we have access to better troops than we otherwise would do. So I want to make sure I've got a lot of those, which we do. We've got 5 units. 1 unit of the Sword Brethren Foot Knights. And we also need archers to be able to carry the siege equipment. I'm just trying to debate how many we do need for that. Because the archers do become a liability in field battles. But I think let's get 5 of the archers, because that will increase the garrison if we leave them behind in Riga. Yeah, so essentially not much is going to happen in the first few turns of this campaign, because I need to build an army to actually start taking settlements. I think the alternative way to play would be to be quite slow and build up Riga, but because you only have 1 settlement and it's difficult to take other settlements without armies, that'd be a very slow way to play the game, and we wouldn't be able to maintain an army. Now we obviously are going to go into quite heavy deficit.
We are agreed then.
Right, so I think we can start heading down now. We have an army of 5 knights and a bunch of archers as well. We can't take out the faction leader because he is essentially what is holding down the public order. So I'll take out these units. We can keep the tax rate at normal, and then we've got these units coming in which also help with the tax rate. Or the public order, sorry. And what we're going to do is basically take this army down to Poland and try and take as many of their settlements as we can before they have a chance to respond. Okay, Riga is rioting, but we can turn down the taxes there to sort that. and Riga is okay again. So there's Marienburg. It has 5 units, which we could deal with, but after we'd taken it, we'd need to stay in there for quite a long time to sort out the public order. So I don't really think it's worth going for. And here's the settlement I was going to go for. It's called Plock. It's a Polish settlement. It has 3 units. Much smaller garrison than the rebel settlements, so it's an easier target. Sometimes Poland do bring quite a big army, which we will have to deal with if that happens. Alternatively, we could retreat and go for one of the other settlements, but I think for now I can't see any large army, so I'm going to go for it. Get the siege equipment. As you can see, pretty small garrison there. Okay, so they didn't bring any reinforcing army, which is good. So we're going to go straight in here and assault. I'm going to be fighting all the battles because we need to be efficient with our units. I can't afford to lose many because I won't be able to retrain them given the financial situation and the fact that I need a Baltic Knight order to actually retrain the Sword Brethren Knights. But we should try and get as much value from our archers as possible, given that they can essentially get free kills. So, can show the units here. I love the models. Lovely detail. And then if we look at the Polish units here, their general unit is strong. I think it's a heavy cavalry unit. So do need to be careful with that. But luckily it's only got, well, it's got 65 men actually, so that might be a factionaire unit. I'm just going to see what we can get out of the archers here. Looks like that unit's largely dealt with. Yeah, we should be able to finish them off here. Okay, I think I'm going to send the heavy cavalry in now. I don't think I showed the Sword Brethren Knights. This is what they look like. Lovely models, as always with this mod. So I just wanted to see if I can surround this heavy cav general unit. Okay, that's the it. So I'll take one unit around here. Another couple of units around here. And then the general through the middle. Sometimes when you get too close, they do just charge. I was hoping that they would charge, just because once you bring them out of the square, yeah, they are charging. Okay, so hopefully we've got them surrounded now. Just hope the general doesn't die. They do actually have a couple of chevrons, so they'll have better stats than the base unit. Okay, that's good. That's them dead. So now I've just got the Levy Watchman to finish off, which shouldn't be a problem. That's the end of this one. So we lost 25 men, which is a bit of a shame. Mostly to the cavalry. Oh yeah, I mean, I can live with that. Okay, so the first settlement falls there, which is Plock. I'm going to exterminate just to sort out any public order issues. And I don't really want to waste any time in going for the next settlement, so I'm going to take out most of the army. Public order is still fine, so I'm fine to do that. I'll get the troops here, and then we're going to go for the settlement, which is around here, and I think there's another one around there. So I will pass turn there. I think Riga's still fine. Can't increase the taxes there. Okay, so we're all good there. Here's the next settlement, which is Poznan. And again, very small garrison. So we're just trying to take as many settlements as we can, as quickly as we can, to get a foothold. Hopefully take out Poland before they get a chance to send any large reinforcements. Yeah, keep that under siege, and then pass turn. Okay, so they have attacked us here with a fairly small army. If we can take all of them out, I think we'll take the settlement, so let's try and do that. Okay, so slightly awkward conditions. I want to try and sort of hide the archers if I can behind the hill, and then use the cavalry as a raiding party. Not sure where their reinforcements are coming from. I'll keep the archers back. Then we're going to go straight for this army here. It's nothing too strong. We should actually just be able to charge straight through it, I think. I'll just split up the cavalry. I'm gonna go straight for the Slavic raiders. Okay.
He has kind honor. Behold how our cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
I think unfortunately the Slavic raiders are going to get away. They're too quick. And then I just need to attack the archers. But I think that's that army sorted. Next we're going to go over here. I actually can't afford to lose my archers here. Okay, so they actually do have a general unit, which is fairly strong. Here. That's the one I want to kill, I think. Right, so let's again spread out the cavalry. I'm just going to ignore this levy infantryman unit. Okay. So unfortunately I got a big charge off there when I wasn't really ready, but... Okay, good. I'm going to keep everyone on that unit. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get him. That's frustrating. I guess that is one of the... That's quite a big army. Anyway. Let's try and take this. If they take Plock, that's not the end of the world, but I will be struggling to fight that huge army. Okay, so we've got reinforcements over here. Slavic raiders and woodsmen. So I'm just going to block them off. And we'll take them out.
Enemy of the Reich lays dead at our feet.
That's the Slavic raiders that got away in the last fight, I think. That's them dealt with. And we'll go for this woodsman unit here.
The battering ram is in place. It will not be long before our enemy's defenses fall. The battering ram is in place. It will not be long before our enemy's defenses fall. Behold how our cowardly foe runs.
Okay, so that's the reinforcements dealt with. Now we just need to deal with the heavy cavalry here. Only 16 men. So I'll see if the archers can do anything.
We have breached our enemy's walls. Our soldiers
So let's line up the cav with the archers behind. Move up the cav further. I could spread out the cav, but I do want to see if I can do anything with the archers. Because any kills we get with the archers are essentially free kills. Okay, so we're taking them down to 6. Just using the archers there. So I think I'm happy enough to go in with the cav. No point in risking the general hit. Okay, that's it. We've won the battle. I think. Yeah, so we didn't lose any men there, so good fight. And again, we're going to exterminate. And I'm not going to waste any time in going for the next settlement here. As long as public order is fine, which it is, we can head... I was going to turn that stand delay just to be safe. We can head straight down to the settlement here. Again, not well garrisoned.
I would advise you to listen to us.
So they want a ceasefire, which basically means that if we don't take the ceasefire, they'll probably attack us, but I'm fine not taking the ceasefire. And the general, who spawned in Riga. So that's actually quite good because our faction leader is quite old, he might die soon. So I do need someone else to take the reins in terms of making sure public order is okay. So I'm going to go for the settlement here now. Just the 61 men defending. Okay, so again, similar layout to before. Just make sure that I don't lose too many men. Does have, I mean, 61 in the general's unit is actually quite good. You only have 30 in ours.
The battering ram is in place. It will not be long before our enemy's defenses fall. The battering ram is in place. It will not be long before our enemy's defenses fall. The ram has breached the gate.
Okay. So there's two strategies I could use here. I could either line up the cavalry with the archers behind and see what kills I can get with them, or I could line up the cav to flank from all sides. I think I could probably do both actually. So first I'll get 3 units of cav up here. Get the archers in behind. Another unit here. And then another few units here. In fact, if I just line them up around here. Okay. So I'll move up my cavalry and archers. And then if they charge these cavalry, I can always flank the other units. Okay, so I'm not getting any kills. Okay, the archers are out of ammo and they only got 2 kills. So what I'm going to do then is just line up the cavalry. Okay, we've got a charge coming in from all sides now, so we should take some heavy losses from the charge. Yeah, we're already down to 20. Down to 5. Down to 1. And that's him dead. So we take the settlement. Not sure how many men we lost. Just the 1 man. Not too bad. Okay, so that's the 3rd settlement taken. And we're going to exterminate again. That's the big Polish army we saw on the previous turn. Can start to increase the taxes in some of these places here. And we're now losing a bit less money. In terms of this army here, doesn't look like a particularly strong army, but it's not really one that I want to fight. I think we need to chill this turn anyway. The last settlement is here, Krakow. But I'm obviously going to have to deal with this before I can get there, so I'm just going to pass turn. And the general, that's good. And they spawned in settlement Rome, which is good news. Okay, so two very large Polish armies there. So I'd say that going for Krakow is out the question. I don't have a diplomat to negotiate a ceasefire. So I think I might just chill again.
We have a proposition for you.
Raid rights and a map information. They are bankrupt, like us.
The deal was fair, yeah?
Yeah, there's nothing I can do while these Polish armies are there, so I need to just wait out.
The Kaiser has sent me to
Ceasefire.
deliver this
Yes.
message.
I would definitely take a ceasefire.
Yeah?
And that's the faction leader dead. So that's... Right, good. Okay, so that's what I was worried about in case the faction leader died and we didn't have anyone to take the reins. Okay, so now we have a ceasefire with Poland, which is good. In terms of... So, Krakow is here. Poland obviously have those 2 large forces, but I don't know if it's something we can really go for. Ah, okay, it must be down here. Must be just out of range, I think. Anyway, going for... I think going for Krakow is not an option right now. Bohemia also has quite a large army. But we do need to take at least one more settlement to get to a financially viable position. That's another general. I mean, with 3 generals, that's a pretty strong army. We actually could look. I thought Krakow was around here. Now I can't see it. Yeah, it's there. And there is... Okay, so going for Bohemia might be a more realistic target. Let's just turn that down to the time being. Yeah, I don't think Poland are leaving Krakow. So I think we should go for this settlement and then probably head west to attack Praha. With Poland with the 2 stacks is not a realistic target. Okay, we're going to war again. Okay. In Bohemia is a more realistic target, I would say. For 83 men, I think that's their faction leader. Right, so let's go for this one then. Got 3 generals with us. It is a pretty strong army. Just not strong enough to take on 2 full Polish stacks.
The battering ram is in place. It will not be long before our enemy's defenses fall.
The good news is that we have the faction, I think this is the faction heir with us, so he has a much larger general's bodyguard unit.
The ram has breached their gate. We are through the enemy's walls, into the breach, and onto glory and
Okay,
triumph.
so I'm going to try the usual strategy.
Our soldiers have captured their Schwein's walls.
I'm not going to bother with the archers this time. I did next to nothing the last time. Just want to get everyone lined up. Okay, I think everyone is set up for the charge, so let's head on in. 83 men, we've got to deal with it. I'm already down to half from the charges alone.
The enemy king lies dead.
Now he's dead.
While his men are confused.
But the charges do so. I mean, it took them down to about 50% just from the charges. Down to 4. Okay, that's it. So I don't think we lost too much there. Because we'll find out in a second. Just 5 men. That does have 3,000, which is exterminate, and lower the taxes.
Orders, Kaiser. Men of the Reich, make the Kaiser proud this day.
Do you want to take out this? No, it's just a levy watchman unit. I was hoping it might be a general that we could just take out pretty quickly. They have positioned themselves at the top of the hill. Okay, so just a quick battle there. I actually should have tried to... Yeah, if I had been planned there, I would have sort of blocked off the... Okay, we defeated them anyway.
Orders, Kaiser.
Okay, next stop is Praha. If we can reach. Fortunately, they have the big army lurking outside, so I might need to reconsider. Let's see what happens. Okay, so they do attack us. This is... We are heavily outnumbered, but... It's something that we could potentially win. Actually, they've basically got the 2 general units and these early mercenary knights as their sort of elite units. I think we should try and fight this. No, we're gonna go for it. Right, so I'll hide the archers and try and use the cavalry as a raiding party. So I think the generals come right to the front. I just need to be careful I don't get into prolonged slogging, or, you know, just a prolonged fight. I need to try and cycle charge. That's their general who's isolated. I'm gonna go straight for him. So hopefully we can deal with this general before more units show up. Wavering. Yeah, let's pull out of that. The cavalry do seem to sort of follow around. And they will tire themselves out. Unfortunately, we didn't actually kill their general, which is annoying. Okay, that unit has now isolated itself. It's the archers that I'm mainly worried about, because they can do quite a lot of damage when you just let them fire at you. They actually are very tired. I'm just gonna try and see if I can isolate the general unit. Okay, here he comes. Let's take him out.
The enemy general flees.
We just need to kill him.
Kein honor. An enemy of the Reich
We got him.
is dead at our feet.
Right, thought he was gonna get away with that. Okay, so now we've got their general, we're in a pretty commanding position. I'm just gonna let my guys rest up. I think they'll all be exhausted. I just need to get them back to sort of very tired, or tired at least. Okay, now we can look to attack the wings. Yep. You see here, they're all yellow now, so just tired. We'll go after these infantrymen first. Hopefully without their general. Yeah, they're already broken. Yeah, they're just breaking. Alright, let's just try and run through their lines now. See how many we can get. I basically just need to kill as many as I can now. Yeah, that's a matter up. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop the battle just to make sure I get as many as possible. Just get one after every. One after every unit. You want to try and block off this unit if I can. Yeah, I've done too many of these where a lot of units get away when they shouldn't, so just trying to make sure we get as many as we can. Okay, I think that's probably good enough.
Only a true hero of the
Okay, so we lost 38 men, took out 2,000.
Glory to the Reich.
And now I've been attacked again. Not sure where this army's come from, but we will of course fight it. Okay, so we've got vassal men at arms, which are quite strong, and a general unit. Just keep my archers back. No. I thought that general was going to charge us, but he's... Okay, yeah, he's isolated himself now, so we'll just go for him.
The enemy general flees. He has keine honor.
No, you need to get out. Yeah, I lost a lot of men in that general's bodyguard unit because of that. Right. Split up the cavalry. I think these vassal men arms are quite strong, but we should have enough. Okay, that's this one done.
It's time to press the attack. The Reich shows its obvious.
Lost 5 men, which was largely because that unit got caught against those vassal men at arms.
Victory is ours!
We have word for you, noble lord. The deal was fair, yeah?
Okay, we'll turn down. Even with a.
Yeah?
Praha is ours for the taking if we want it.
Kaiser! Kaiser!
I just need to send back a unit to here. That didn't make any difference.
For the Reich! Mein Kaiser!
Neither did that.
Ja, Kaiser!
That's okay, so we might lose Olomouc, which is unfortunate.
Come on.
I don't really want to send anything more back because we're not going to get to. Oh, distance to capital. Did make Plock the capital? Then we might lose Riga. Okay, we're still holding that. Olomouc is okay now. Okay, so we're free to go for
We shall defeat them for
Praha, which is a proper.
Ja, Kaiser. We lay siege at once.
Is a proper city with the walls, etc.
The siege continues, Kaiser.
Okay, so hopefully we can take Praha next turn. Alright, good. It's just the faction leader. Okay, so nice looking settlement here. We will go for the walls. See if I can get at a blind spot. They don't have any men to defend the walls, unfortunately, so.
Our siege towers have reached the walls. For the Empire!
all we need to do is basically run down the walls, capture the main towers. Right, that's good. So we'll just head down here.
Our soldiers have captured the Schwein's walls.
Okay, that's good. Now we've got those. We'll just send in our men, and we can go about taking the settlement. I'll line up 3 units. No, 2 units this way. Two units here. And then 2 units on the other side. Right, I think we're in position now. So let's charge from all angles. Lovely looking models here, actually. Down to 37. Still holding pretty strong. Down to 20. Down to 11. 10, 7, 6, 4, 3. Gone up to Silver Chevron, right at their last stand. Down to 1, which I think is a general who's now dead, and that's it. So I think we've conquered our first major, or our first city. With that. Alright, so Praha falls. And I think I'm going to occupy because I can afford to stay here for a while. Unless I just want to exterminate, just to ward off any issues. Yeah, I think I will just exterminate. And the Duchy of Bohemia is dead, so we have defeated Bohemia, and we have amassed 6 regions in the process. Yeah, so it probably was the right decision to exterminate, even with the extermination. 75% public order. Right, so we're finally making income now. After not making income for a long time. We basically took Poland down to 1 settlement and defeated the Duchy of Bohemia. So I think that's a good place to end this episode. We have amassed 6 regions, won 10 battles, and we're looking decent now in terms of making gold. So I hope you're enjoying it, and I'll see you on the next one.